program is part of the Scene Project's podcast network. The Scene Project features interviews with independent musicians, comedians, and artists from across the Midwest. Become part of our community and support local art wherever you are.
Psychedelic sounds, I leave my heart down on the ground. Since I don't have you around, I'll grab a bottle off the shelf and go and drink it by myself. Say you wanna talk it out, well I don't think I need your help. Think I'm better off alone. I made my whole run on the road. I won't spend my lonely nights talking on the telephone. I find a girl at every show, but I will never let you know how much I regret the past and why watching you go, because hearts ain't smart, they're built for fools. I got my heart off your leash, but you still infect my brain. So now I'm running round in circles, cause I can't forget the pain. Like 1,000 shiny daggers every time I hear your name. So I have to get control of my body and my soul. I pick my heart off the floor like I had you twice before. Should've cared a little less, we should've loved a little more. Now we both regret the past as we're walking out the door, because hearts ain't smart, they're built for fools.
Welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Starts, and you are here tonight for Love Noise, presented by the Midwest Original Music Organization, the Momos. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Brad Stewart. Brad, good to see you digitally.
Yeah, that's right. I know. Long time no see.
I know. I miss you already. We're going to get into...
You made it back home safely.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. We're definitely going to cover some of the tour as we talk, but before we do that, we're going to bring in our special guest of the night, Samantha Windover. Samantha, welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
It is an honor for both of us.
It's my first ever podcast, so it's a pleasure.
Nice. Yeah, well, we're glad we could be the first. I'm sure it won't be the last. And interesting to get in and to get to know you a little bit. You were the first one to answer the call in the Midwest Original Music Organization group today when I put it out there, because I'm terrible at staying on top of my booking calendar for this show. But this also makes it fun. You never know what you're going to get when that Wednesday afternoon post comes out. And I'm happy it was you today, Samantha. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. I was happy. I actually saw it right away and I jumped on it and I made the comment. And so I must mean I'm on my phone too much.
Well, you're in the right place at the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. I think Brad's right there.
Yes.
So Sam, yeah, I hope you don't mind if I call you Sam. It's a habit.
Oh, that's perfect.
We'd love to get to know you a little bit. You don't have to go all the way back to the beginning or anything, but we'd love to get to know you and get a little bit of your backstory. And then obviously we're going to be listening to some of your music tonight as well. So the floor is yours. Share away.
Well, my name is Samantha Windover. I am from Orillia, Ontario, Canada. I started singing at a very young age in school and choir, and I had a lot of good mentors growing up. And they inspired me to start doing my own music on my own. And when I was 10 years old, I started doing a tribute to Patsy Cline. I had a musician friend named Beau Dixon who told me, "Have you ever heard Patsy Cline?" And I said, "No." And that's when YouTube just kind of came out. So he sent me home to listen to Patsy Cline's Crazy. And at first I had a look at it and wasn't sure what I thought. I thought, what? I don't know if I could sing this old woman's music because I was only 10 years old. And I started singing it and I was hooked right there. So I started doing Patsy Cline tribute shows for Children's Miracle Network here in Canada. And I would go and sing outside of Walmarts and fishing festivals, like different things across Ontario here. And doors opened for me and I started to meet different people and it led me into doing singing competitions and then eventually learning how to play the guitar, as Jan Arden told me when I met her at Mariposa Folk Festival. So she said to me to learn an instrument and don't drink and don't smoke, and that was her main advice, and I've taken the advice, somewhat, half of it.
Learned an instrument at least.
Yeah, so taught myself how to play guitar at the age of 12. I'm still progressing at the age of 26. Um, but yeah, I released my first single in 2023, which I wrote my first single at the age of 16. So it took that long, which I was 16 in 2016. I just go along with the years because I was born in 99. And so once I released Western Horizon, they kind of gave me a bug, and I've started writing lots more music and gigging around. And now I'm working on an album called Mountain Railroad because a song by Patsy Cline is called Life's a Railway to Heaven. And I was very inspired by that song because life has so many ups and downs, and a lot of my songs relate to things I've been through in the last few years. And so I thought, well, what a name for an album, Mountain Railroad. So that's what I've been kind of doing. And I'm planning on recording with James McKenty in Peterborough, Ontario. And he's an amazing producer. So just slowly trying to get my music out there and get more material. And that's my goal, is to get heard by people and keep adding new friends on Facebook as we met through Dave Woods, I think maybe was a mutual friend. So yeah, that's kind of my backstory.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm glad your story landed you here. I think you're in a great space for this. Obviously, the Momo group continues to grow on Facebook, almost 1,000 members strong now, which is kind of wild. I started it a little bit on a whim, I guess, last summer, and seeing the power of community, right? And realizing that what I was growing with the scene projects was that community, but it deserved a little bit. It needed to be segregated a little bit, right? Like between fans and people who are artists and kind of here to learn. There's really like two very different groups that intermingle a lot, but are here for different reasons, right?
Yes.
The fans are here to learn new artists, to listen to the music, to enjoy that. And then the other side of that was the artists who are just starting out, began following us maybe from us winning the Content Creator of the Year award or the Podcast of the Year, whatever, right? The people I understand at this point in my life are looking to us because we have something, or we have built something that other people, I don't want to say are covetous of, but that's what they want to do, right? So I understood that we're in this position, not necessarily of authority, but definitely being looked up to as someone who has in a lot of ways, quote unquote, made it or made it farther, right, than maybe
Yes.
someone who's just starting out. And I think that's the great pleasure for me now, is being able to help as many people as we can. Now, there's a lot of people that are beyond me even, and what I teach them, I don't know, right? We kind of become a space just for them to collaborate with other individuals. But there are so many people like yourself that, even though you've been singing for a long time, or even playing an instrument and singing, getting out there to start gigging and recording and doing everything is an extremely daunting task, especially to do it as an independent artist in this day and age is not an easy thing. And I've been fortunate enough to kind of grow this platform and to be connected with a lot of people who are doing even much better than I am, and being able to learn from them. And in essence, I think that's what we've built here, with the help of the team. Obviously, Brad is there, and I'm going to bring in not so wild Willie with his sleek looking haircut. I saw you guys back there, but you were brushing hair, not your own, of course.
I brushed it all off.
Yeah, you were a little aggressive. Samantha, this is Wild Willie. Willie Thornton is the sound engineer of the year for the Midwest Talent Awards, and is also a host of a show here on the Scene Projects, and our super producer in the background of a lot of other stuff that we're doing. So, Willie, this is Samantha Windover.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well, and congratulations.
Thank you. I'm still not gotten used to it yet.
Well, you better start getting used to it.
That's what Bubba told me too. So one of these days I'll listen.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Some people are slow, Willie. It's all good.
It's because I'm in the rural part of the U.S. Okay.
You are as rural as it gets, sir. Having driven through Missouri again now. Yeah, you're out there for sure. Yeah. But any Brad, I guess any questions for Sam off the top here?
Yeah. I've been doing bookings, for over 20 years. And when I first started out, I was gifted Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia for my international territory. So I got to do the fun job of filing for tax waivers, the Regulation 105 waivers for artists coming in and out of Canada, and learned a lot. I kind of jumped into the fire with all of that. And I know it's a little bit different if you're on your side of the border, but how has that changed for you? Have you tried to come into the States? And if so, how has that gone for you?
Yeah, so my dream is to go to Nashville, obviously, and get there and sing Patsy Cline. I haven't yet. We're actually trying to sell our house right now so that we can have the money to go to Nashville and get my music heard in the area where it belongs, where all the country, Patsy Cline and Tammy Wynette and Loretta Lynn, all my inspirations. But yeah, the Canadian music scene seems to be much different. And people always say, well, we've got to get to the US. You've got to get to the US. That's where it's all happening. And it's definitely something that I would like to happen soon, once my album is finished. And then I have my material to go and perform. So,
gotcha.
Someone that speaks my language. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard country fan.
Oh, I love it. I grew up in rock and roll and country and Karen Carpenter and everything, and Michael Jackson. But then when I was introduced to Patsy Cline, I just got the bug for it. And now all I can listen to is old country and the new country, like Ella Langley. She's wonderful. And I love Miranda Lambert.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I was raised on, that old country.
Yeah. So I'd like, my goal, I would love to bring all that back, as it is coming back now, the old style of country music. And I had people telling me when I was younger, oh, that's old news, that's old music, and maybe you should sing newer stuff. And my heart has always been in the past, in the old generation music, because it's just something in my soul, like maybe I'm reincarnated, I don't know, but I feel so connected to it. And I feel like, what's old is new to me. Like I didn't live in that time, so even though it's old music, it's newer to me. And and it's going to be new to people who are around today. So
Very nice. Yeah, I personally lean towards the older country before the whole bro country stuff kind of came in for me personally. It feels more authentic for me.
yes, 100%.
Seems it got synthetic there for a while, and I think it's starting to come back the other way.
Yeah, it's nice to, bring those feelings and those emotions out, that the realness that people used to bring, like real storytelling.
Yeah, I
Well, and I
agree.
think that's mostly because, Western and country music were born out of the cowboy era, right? That storytelling, this is how the tales were told, as it
Yes.
were. And I think that, the country music that we grew up loving, the outlaw country, if you will, of the 70s, and that it was that. And I would say that, even those guys would tell you that country music had probably lost its way sometime in the 60s as well, right? I think this is just
Mhm.
a cyclical process of, you lose yourself, the pop influences kind of infiltrate the songwriting, and the fan base recoils and demands essentially a return to the songwriters. And then you get that resurgence, right? That renaissance of songwriters and that old style coming back. So I think it's just a cycle. We happen to be caught in a real good one here, I think, across the board, not just in country music, but across all of it. And the music industry is just so much different now, especially than it was, in 1999, Samantha, to kick it back to, your
Yeah.
beginnings.
Yes.
But that's the thing, the independent scene, and that's what I tell. We've had that conversation. That's why I love the independent scene so much, because it is bringing that old genres of music back. And I'm talking not just country, I'm talking across the board, because you don't have the labels shoving on who they want them to be. They're able to freely be themselves. So for me, that's why, especially on my DJ side of everything, that's why I push independent music. And if I can help one artist get discovered, then that's what I'm going to do, because I like the kind of music that I vibe with.
100%.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your tracks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
speaking of, Sam, I want to let you go ahead and pick the first one, and then I get to pick from the remaining two. So you get to tell us which one is first. I'll get it queued up, and you can tell us a little bit about the song.
Okay, so I think you should play Just Picture My Love on You first. That's a song that I reached out to our Canadian Carole Baker. I call her the Dolly Parton of Canada. Uh, she was always one of my favorites, and I messaged her on Facebook one day and I said, I'd love to cover one of your songs. And she said, oh, well, would you like to try this song? And it was called Just Picture My Love on You. And I said, "Oh, definitely." So I got right in the studio with her guitar player, uh, J.K. Gully, and we recorded the song. We did it my own way and my own style, and tried to kind of go for a little bit of Nora Jones style. I don't know. It was just the vibes we were getting, and we got a really good outcome, and people seem to really like the song, and I personally love it, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, this is Just Picture My Love on You, and hopefully this all works. So here we
Right.
go. Oh, it's not going to work like that, though. I need to share my screen here. This. There you are.
I'm not hearing anything. Are you guys?
Okay. Well, that's what I was wondering. Well, what took you so long to let me know, Brad?
I was saying it, but I didn't realize my mic was muted.
Oh my
I
god.
didn't want to interrupt. I didn't know if it was.
Well, we've done this a couple times before, and sometimes it plays for you guys, and it just doesn't play for me. So I'm not sure. I didn't want to ruin it.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
It didn't look like everybody else was hearing it either, so I had to speak.
I was hearing it, and it was lovely, Samantha.
Thank you.
That's why we've been doing it with the
MP3.
MP3s. Yeah, just because they're in here. Let's see if we can't change directions, and we'll go to.
You should be able to click on that window, Bubba, and share your audio on it.
What?
When you screen share, at least I know when you screen share through Zoom, you can share your audio with the screen you're sharing.
You may have to mute yourself as well for it to play it, because it can't do two different audios at once. That might be the issue.
Oh, technology.
Yep. Love it or hate it.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, we tend to lean one way or the other.
Yeah.
That part. So that didn't work.
Okay.
Let's see what else we can do here. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to disappear for a minute here, and I'll try
go
to
ahead.
get something
All
figured
right.
out.
Yeah, while he's doing that, Samantha, so tell us about your gigging history. I'm curious to know, what your plans are with that.
Yeah, so I've played at multiple places in Peterborough and Orillia. We have Cooch Chain Craft Brewery, Quails Brewery. We also have the Mariposa Folk Festival, which is where I kind of got my start.
Yeah.
Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, Gordon Lightfoot, all sang at the first Mariposa Folk Festival. And
Yep.
Gord continued to play for us, every other year, and he'd show up and make everybody's day. Oh, there's Gord. So I had the pleasure of knowing Gordon Lightfoot and singing on the main stage when I was 12 years old.
Yep.
I was invited to sing on the main stage. It was unheard of to have an unhired act get onto the main stage at Mariposa. I was singing in an open mic tent, and they then put me to the beer tent, and then I got up on the main stage, and the word got around that I was the Mariposa Scene Stealer, because no, it's unheard of to have an unhired act. So then the next year they brought me back and had me sing just before Arlo Guthrie. So I was kind of like a tweener, and
Gotcha.
that was a big deal for me. And I got to meet him and swap spots on the stage with Arlo Guthrie. So that's one of the biggest things that I've done. But I've sang in many different stages: Cameron House in Toronto, um, the Jazz Bistro, Free Times Cafe, all these cool Hugh's Room in Toronto, which is now in a different location.
I'm
There's
familiar
so
with that
many.
one.
Yeah, there's so many cool venues, and I'm just continue to try more. I was singing at a birthday party the other night, at Rhino's Bar and Grill, but I've played all the really good spots in the city, and I'm trying to expand now to like Hamilton and uh, even up in Muskoka, because that's where I live. So I'd go to Huntsville and Gravenhurst and Bracebridge. So there's
Yep.
lots of different opportunities around where I am, but mostly I'm in Orillia and
Gotcha.
festivals and such.
Nice. I'm sure you're familiar with Peter's Players in Gravenhurst.
Yes, I am.
I know Peter, worked with him many times in the past. I've done a lot in your area. I used to work with a ton of blues artists. I've worked with pretty much every genre under the sun, but there for a while I was working with like 75% of my artists that I was working with were in the blues rock, kind of vein. So
yeah. So then, do you know Richard Flowhill?
I do.
Yes. So yeah, Richard has been he's had my back since I was 12 years old and kind of
Okay.
guiding me through the music industry.
Nice.
And yeah, so I know my blues music and BB King and Buddy
Okay.
Guy.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Swanick, at Peter's Players is really good guy. And, Gary Kendall in Toronto. I'm not sure if you know him or not. He's in Downchild Blues Band. So
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Forever. Super nice guy. Anyway, I have a lot of great contacts in your neck of the woods.
Well,
a lot of them I haven't spoken to a lot lately because I don't do as much business with them as I used to. But there's such great talent buyers in your area that I really miss working with for sure.
Yeah, it's a great music community here.
Yeah, it is. You guys definitely get out in full effect once the snow starts to melt.
Yeah, we're still climbing those snow hills in the winter.
Yeah. It's I've been to Ottawa Blues Fest, and I don't know, Canada, like from mid-June until pretty much August. You guys are insanely rabid fans going to live music shows. And then after that, after Labor Day, everybody starts to hold back up a little bit. So everybody stays a little closer and doesn't travel quite as much from my experience.
Yes, you're correct. Yes. The weather gets a little rough here. So people hibernate and then
I understand.
And then it starts to melt and
I would be the same way.
I think we got it figured out, gang.
All right. Woo. Good deal.
If it doesn't start playing right away, say something, Brad.
Okay. I'll give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
I can't hear it.
There we go.
Picture my love on you. Picture my love on you. Night after night, it's gonna warm you right through. It's gonna be the one that lasts long and true. Baby, picture my love on you. You say love's never been any friend to you. All it ever did was hurt your pride. You've had more of your share of broken dreams, and so it seems your poor heart will never see the light. Oh, but picture my love on you. Picture my love on you. Night after night, it's gonna warm you right through. It's gonna be the one that lasts long and true. Picture my love on you. Picture my love on you. You say love has a habit of wearing off just when you think you've got it made. You come down so hard when your love is lost. Lonely tears are the price you pay. Oh, but picture my love on you. Picture my love on you. Night after night, it's gonna warm you right through. It's gonna be the one that lasts long and true. Picture my love on Picture my love on you. Picture my love on you.
That was nice. Can you
That was
guys hear me?
awesome, Sam. Great
Yeah.
track.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was really well done. Top
Yeah.
to bottom.
It's definitely one of my favorites that I've recorded yet. As of yet.
I can see why whoever told you to do the Patsy Cline to go into that, because you have the same vocal range for that.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Patsy so much. I feel like if I make it in the industry, I'm definitely going to be making sure Patsy Cline's her music's still living.
Let's change that to when instead of if.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
When I less than like the technicalities of it, I think it's the ease at which you sing. It just feels effortless, and I think that's not like, I don't have that. When I sing, it sounds like I'm trying hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that same just kind of effortless tone to my voice, and you just nailed it. It's it's something, that sweetness, right? Like, I don't have a sweetness to my voice that I wish I did. I can sing big and powerful, but to really dial it back to almost a whisper, right?
Yep.
barely above a whisper, and to just sing it is incredible and commendable.
Thank you. Yeah, I've had lots of time, I've had lots of different vocal lessons from Elaine Overholt and Beau Dixon, and just the things that I've been taught, and this time in the studio I've spent with mic control. Usually when I record, I get told that they don't have to mess with it much because of my mic control. And that's very important. Also, when I'm out performing in my gigs, like, I'm not screaming into the mic. I'm trying to keep that control, and I'm moving back and forth, making sure the levels are not flipping.
That's good. Yeah.
Willie will appreciate that as our sound engineer of the year.
It's very important.
Yes. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, right up your alley, isn't it, Willie?
It is. I actually closed my eyes and I was just listening to it. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you. That's what I like to hear. I love just singing from my soul and sending my soul out there and through my voice, and that's been my gift, and I just love being able to use that power.
Nice.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot over the last 2 weeks. Not on anything that anybody will see yet, but during my songwriter showcase tour that took me over 5,500 miles around the country, a lot of the themes were the same, right? And the conversations that we're having with songwriters all over the place, no matter what their genre or, region of the, country that they're living in, that the expression of the soul is the same, right? We're all just seeking to do that. And there's so many different variations of that. Like I said, the two of us juxtaposed against one another, where I've made a living for 20 years yelling into a microphone. Like, that's just my style. So to hear
I beg to differ, Bubba. I beg to differ. I've seen you perform. I beg to differ.
Yeah, but most of what I do is just like sing as loud and powerful as you can. But that's also how I was raised. I mean, I started playing guitar after watching, when we moved to South Dakota, we lived in a tent for 3 months. Our music was my dad playing around the campfire, and dad didn't sing a lot, but us kids would, and we would just yell as loud as we could all the time, right? All the words that we knew. And then through busking on, you know, the streets of Venice Beach or wherever I was and happened to be, that I've always had to be extra, right? I've always been heard because I've given you no choice, right? Like I've been the loudest thing around, and case in point to that is definitely the time I spent in Mexico playing in the centros there, where they were busy and I had to cut through the noise, and nothing will cut through the busy you know, Mexican mercado than somebody screaming in English. So like I said, I'm kind of blown away that you know, there's other ways of doing it, right? And being still pretty fresh, I would say, in my recording career. Maybe it's been a long time, but I haven't had a ton of experience in that it's a different animal entirely. And I haven't gotten the training or the experience level, either one, to kind of master that side of it. And I hope it's something that I get to experience in this life. A lot of career left in front of me. You know, if I've been at this for 20 already, I figure I got hopefully 40 left of doing this in front of me yet. I'll be 40 in May. So, you know, I think there's a chance I can get there. Yeah, Willie, I am. So you better start respecting me a little bit more than you do.
You'll wake up tomorrow and realize that's not true.
It's just that I realize everything has a time and a place, and no different than your first podcast being tonight and being on this show, which is about as informal as it can get. But I think someone even just meeting you can't appreciate the full breadth of your artistry without hearing your songs. So for you to just be a guest on the Scene projects, while it would have been fine and good, it doesn't give us a very clear picture of exactly who you are and what you do. And that's probably true for a lot of guests that I have on the show as well. But not all of them necessarily need that and need to be heard to be fully appreciated. So yeah, I appreciate that we're getting to share this moment now and getting to be all together listening to some really beautiful music, Sam.
Hey, funny thing about that, Sam, he was my first podcast too.
Well, that's super cool. I didn't even realize, do you want to know something? I didn't even realize until a week ago that you were doing a podcast. Like I've been seeing your posts on Facebook and everything, but I couldn't quite figure you out. Like I couldn't figure out exactly
I'm an enigma.
Yeah, I'm an enigma. Yeah. So it was kind of interesting to see, you know, it's interesting for me to learn more about you too as well. And it's nice meeting new people and people in the industry all the time, because connections are very important and it means a lot to me and getting out there and being heard. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be on the show this evening.
It is our pleasure, because if you're not here, it's just the three of us staring at each other and it's truly very boring. So we appreciate you. And no, I just start playing all of my music and both of these guys have heard it all. So
I got some I can play you.
Yeah, Willie does have some new music. Maybe we'll sneak one of those in at the end and give everyone a taste of what you've been creating out there in the world and writing songs.
Joking, not tonight, sir. I was joking, not tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? If you don't want to get put on the spot, you better.
Just kidding. We know I like the spotlight.
I could tell when you got up there to give your acceptance speech for your Sound Engineer of the Year award. I'm going to see how many times I can mention that tonight. Sam,
so you should. You're really good at it, being the podcaster of the year.
Thank you. I mean, the podcast one, not me, but
yeah, you got two of them, so
I did. The music contributor.
No, just kidding.
The music contributor one meant a lot more to me. I mean, the podcast, they mean a lot to me. I don't want to degrade either one of them, but the to be recognized for the contribution to especially the Midwestern music scene, that one was really important to me. And I think it justifies a lot of our actions that we've been taking and really trying to make sure that we're putting artists at the forefront of everything that we do, whether it's the showcases or, you know, the over 500 interviews that we've done, or this show, Love Noise, you know, Unsigned Spotlight 5 days a week, playing over 30 tracks from independent artists. Like it was setting our heading for that mission, that we are just going to support as many independent artists as we can, and then staying the course. And whatever accolades that we pick up for ourselves inside of that, be what they may. I have a mantle that needs decorating. I don't mind having them, but the course, the direction of the course doesn't change whatsoever, right? And the awards and kind of, you know, what they mean to me got washed over a little bit by the fact that I was on the road for 18 days and didn't really have time to sit and, you know, to reflect on that. And I'm very appreciative that, you know, 2 years ago, when I had the opportunity to walk away from a job that was killing me and decided I was going to commit myself to music fully once again, I'm very happy that podcasting kind of landed on me in that moment. Because, Sam, to be perfectly honest, in 2024, I thought I was quitting my job to be a rock star. I had a bunch of gigs booked all summer. I had some 5-6 night runs. I was like, this is it. Like, this is the moment. We're going to carry this momentum through. And then I literally got on the road and was like, I don't want this, right? Like, I don't want to do this 48 weeks out of the year, being gone from my family and everything that it means to be a successful musician, right? If I was 20, you know, if I was 22, that would probably be a problem. If I was 28, maybe I would be able to pull it off. But at 37, 38, it just wasn't who I was anymore. And in that time frame, I'd been doing the podcast interviews, and I really just kind of like slowly fell in love with getting to know other artists. And now that's expanded into all manners of interviews and things that I've done. You know, I interviewed the drummer from Judas Priest. I interviewed Bill Payne, founder of Little Feat, who's literally played with everyone. You know, he's name dropping, and it's Bob Seger and Jackson Brown and Barbara Streisand on a record he doesn't even remember doing. And it's wild. And you're like, man, you played with everybody. How are we on this conversation? And he's like, Bubba, you're one of us, man. Like, you're a musician too. And that was such a cool thing that was given to me, that now in growing our platform, that we kind of have the opportunity to give to others, right? That validation that you belong here, and you don't have to continue searching for it outwardly from someone else or from fans, or, you know, it's just so hard to even get a little bit of attention out there in the world. That realizing that our voice and our presence at events, or, you know, on the podcast with people, it matters. And I am starting to respect that a lot more, because for years I struggled with, like, why would anybody care about me? Right? Why would anybody care what I have to say, or these songs that I've written, or any of it? Why would it matter? And now we get to be the ones to kind of turn that around and go, no, you do matter. And we can give you a laundry list reasons of why you matter. And it's it's pretty incredible what has happened in a very short time span, right? I mean, 2 years is not a long time by any stretch of the imagination. But looking back now, even last year, we were barely on YouTube, right? Like, I was putting episodes out, but they were, you know, a few Zoom interviews. I was struggling to figure out how I was ever going to do short form content. And then, you know, a year later, we have 375,000 views on YouTube, right? So it's pretty incredible. And if we can move that fast, then there's lots of other people out there that we can not only drag along with us for the ride, but we can teach how to do the same things. And that's really where we are now, is how do we educate more people? How do we connect? How do we build a platform, or build the platform bigger so that it becomes, you know, what Joe Rogan could be for comedians or for anyone that steps on his show, right?
Yep.
And it took time for someone who was already famous to start a podcast and to get that kind of traction, right? I think, you know, he talks famously about it. Like, they were doing the podcast for 5 years before he realized that it had some pull, right? And just asking his crowd, like, who listens to the podcast? And like the resounding, like, oh shit, that thing that we've just been doing, hitting the volcano and hanging out, talking shit to one another, is actually something. And for me, it's, you know, dipping into our analytics a little bit. It took like 6 months to get to 10,000 downloads, right? It took from like the summertime until right around, I think sometime in January, to get to 10,000 downloads. I checked them today. We're over 14,000, right? So the speed and the momentum are starting to pick up. And before the end of the year, those numbers will be 10 times what they are now, right? And I don't get caught up a lot in the numbers, but it's the impact that those words, these interviews, these conversations by the end of this year are really starting to impact people's careers. And when people come on the show and people hear it, and now they become, you know, more desirable, if you will, if that's the right term to use. We want people and booking agents and people that are out there to start pulling from our group of talent and to start making more of it, because I think we have some of the most talented people I've ever met in my life are either a member of the Midwest Original Music Organization, they have been on the show, or they are, you know, friends of the show. And it's been wild. Like, in 2 years, we made it this far. If we just keep the heading we're on now, you know, the superstardom, if you will, is coming. Eventually, all the people that are where they are at either take a slide or die or something happens, right? So if we just keep at it for long enough, we can be successful. So
if you can do anything you put your mind to, and that's in one of my songs. Just give me something to do and I'll keep busy.
yeah,
You know, and it's so
fantastic.
nice to hear. It's so nice to hear that you've been able to find your calling, and now you're settled into it, and you're starting to, you know, actually feel some appreciation, and that's very important. It just drives you to do more and to keep going, and especially when it's something you love to do, like, you just don't want to stop.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, last April, when we won the Content Creator of the Year award from the Midwest Country Music Organization, that it wasn't like the finish line. If anything, it was the starting gun, where it was like, I better go earn this now. And not that we hadn't already done some things, but I went way harder on my creation in 2025 than we did in 24, even though it turned into not even getting nominated for that same award a year later. It's also not why I do it, right? All the names that were on that list, I would much rather see any single one of those people win this award and go carry that with them now than for me to win it 6 years in a row. Right? Like, that doesn't matter to me. No one can take the one that I have away, and not winning it multiple years in a row really has no bearing over who we are or what we do. So realizing that's why I've kind of tried to take a step onto the other side of that curtain now, right? Because I never did it for the accolades anyway. I'm way more into being the guy that gets to hand the award to someone and announce their name on the stage. And you know, it's a big reason why when the Midwest Talent Awards kind of landed on me, and I had an opportunity to contribute in a myriad of ways, but that I dove in, was like, yes, this is what I want to be doing. This is the position that I'm way more comfortable in being than the one up there accepting the awards, because they just don't mean that much to me, I guess. Like I've never done it for the applause.
No.
I
always say I do it for the smiles. I do it for the smiles and touching people in an emotional way. And that's what's important. It's getting people in those feels. Like in my end of things, like, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer music is medicine. And I think no matter whether
He's breaking up.
Oh,
he is
He froze. That's what happens every time he's got a big thought.
Earth to Willie, Earth to Willie.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back
Oh,
now.
we're back.
Well, I don't know what's going on. I'm on my aunt's Wi-Fi. I'm technically at work. But no, he's phenomenal at what he does. He's really good, and that's why when I've won a lot of awards for a lot of things, never for this side of things, but this is going to be the one that I hold dear the most, because not only did someone that has become like a brother to me present it, but it has been to see what you do for the community, Bubba, and how much you network, and that is one thing I did pick up off of you, and I'm not as good as you are, but I got to start somewhere. And I think when, as individuals, we get caught up in being negative about somebody else's success instead of building them up. And I think if we can get communities to pull together, and that's exactly what we've done here. When Barbara first come to me and I told him about an idea I had, and you should do it, and it becomes a family. Y'all saw my daughter for the first 10 minutes of the podcast waving at Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a ride for sure. It's crazy to think that, Brad and I have barely known each other 6 months, if that. Willie and I haven't even known each other a year now. And I think back to, like, I've rehashed my entire contact list. Everything has been refreshed because of this podcast, and sometimes to a fault. I think there's, currently there's some people that supported me early that maybe I'm not going back to and watering those roots as much as I was early on. And not that I don't need them and I don't respect them. It's just that you kind of get caught up in the newness. And maybe that's where I can almost network myself to a fault, is that I'm always focused on, new relationships and growing those out there. But all it takes sometimes is a friend kind of reminding me that, like, hey, don't forget about the people that kind of supported you when you didn't have all of those things. And now my voice is even more powerful and is listened to wider than previously. So I just got to remember to go back sometimes and show some love to the people that have been there since day one, and to shine some light on them now that our light shines a little brighter.
Definitely.
Speaking of a little brighter, how about Western Horizon Revised? Tell me more.
Sounds like Western Horizon was my first song, and I wrote it with my dad, actually, driving from Peterborough to Orillia, and it's about a hour and a half drive. And my dad said, it can't really be that difficult to write a song. Like, we got to be able to do this. And I said, okay, well, what should we write about? And as we were driving, we were looking at the Western Horizon. And so we decided to start it off with that, Western Horizon. And it's basically about driving from Peterborough to Orillia and wanting to get to Orillia because it was my favorite spot to be in the summertime on the boat, and just so much fun and lots of things happening. It's just like lake country. So I kind of wrote this song around my desire to get to the Western Horizon, get get to that destination to where I long to be. So that's what this song's about.
So going out by Kawartha Lakes and around
Yeah.
Lake Simcoe.
Yes.
I had
Lake
to pull it.
Couchiching.
I had
Yeah.
to pull it up on a map because I was like, I want to know where she's at.
Yes.
So I had family that lived in the North Woods of Wisconsin, and I would imagine that the North Woods and the UP of Michigan probably very similar to what you're getting in between Toronto and Ottawa up there in Ontario. So yeah, absolutely beautiful country.
Definitely.
A great drive to write a song on. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a wonderful listen here. So this is Western Horizon revised. Who revised it? You or Dad?
I revised it myself. I actually did an earlier recording of it on my own, and then when I got it professionally done, I just decided to call it Western Horizon Revised.
I love it. Yeah, release both of them. Don't pull the one down.
Yeah.
All right. Without any further ado, this is Western Horizon revised.
Heading down the road, almost at my destination. I can see it in the distance, I'm almost there. Western horizon, when will I be there? Western horizon, more than dreams can take you there. As I drive down the long windy road, seems like days since I've left home. No more shall I roam. Western horizon, more than dreams can take you there. Western horizon, more than dreams can take you there. It's getting dark, sun is going down. I'm gonna get there any minute now. Western horizon, when will I be there? Western horizon, more than dreams can take you there. Now I'm here with a smile. I hope that I can stay a while. This was the best as a child. Western horizon, when will I be there? Western horizon, more than dreams can take you there.
Where'd you go?
I had to sit down for a minute. I have a stand-up desk, and I was like, man, my legs are getting tired. So I wanted to sit down for a minute, but yeah, I'm back now. But yeah, that was great. Your vibrato is great. I mean, you're just like a little bird, you know?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely love the lower part of my voice. Like I can sing up there. Like I think I have a 4-octave range. But I definitely love singing like that with lots of vibrato and trying
Yeah.
to keep the control and
Yeah, it's natural. That's a God-given gift. I certainly don't have that
yes.
for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, you know, some people are born with that, and some of us are not. But yeah, you definitely have it for sure.
I got lucky.
Yeah,
I love the the differences between the first one that we played and this one. And they both, I don't want to say they both have a throwback quality to them, right? The first one definitely in those classic country roots, but this was way more. I mean, there's a little Gordon Lightfoot in there, right? There's some 60s Americana folk. Got a little psychedelic almost when the whole band kicks in. I love the build up to, you know, kind of that bridge part where it all kicks in. Start to hear like a little Grace Slick in your vocals there, things getting a little ethereal and kind of jamming out. Just a really cool take on the track. I'm gonna have to go and listen on my own time to the original version and hear what that sounded like, assuming more just like solo acoustic on the original one.
Yeah, at home. I just recorded it at home and I thought I'm just going to release this and see how it sounds. So it's not like the best quality, but it definitely shows you the raw side of the song.
Yeah, super cool. I love the production of this one where it slowly builds up. You can, because as it's moving, I'm like, God, I think I hear a kick in there. Like I thought I heard a faint kick, and then it was like, oh, there it is again, and then like the whole thing kicks in, right? And it was like, oh, I'm not hearing things. I'm not. That's the psychedelics coming back on me. That's
Yeah, when I first heard it and what they, my friend James McKenty did with it, I thought, whoa, that is so cool. Like, I just love how it just builds up and then wham, there's the guitar. Yeah.
So yeah, describe the your process with the recording studio. I mean, you got a couple of really well produced tracks here. Is this somebody that's local around in your area? Are there a bunch of players out in that, or is it just, you know, one guy that's kind of doing it all?
Yeah, so I would do the vocal and I would pick on my guitar because I like finger pick style.
So that's
And
you on the acoustic then on this one?
yep, on the acoustic. And then James McKenty, he did the guitar and bass, I believe. And then I had Beau Dixon, who introduced me to Patsy and was my mentor, like my vocal coach growing up. I had him come into the studio and do piano and drums. And so both of them are multi-instrumentalists. So they were able to just add in, you know, what was needed. They could hear it. And we did Western Horizon, One of These Days, and then my other song, Life Goes On, all in one day. I went in the studio and recorded those three, and then they kind of added in things afterwards and put it all together. So it all came together really nice, and it was exciting for me to record my first original songs.
Do James and Beau have a pretty good relationship, or did they know each other
Yes.
beforehand? Okay.
Yeah, so Beau actually introduced me to James and said, "Oh, I've got the guy," and we
He
figured
was
out the
right.
dates. Yeah.
Shout out to Beau.
So I believe that James did a Blue Rodeo album. I'm just not sure which one it was, but I remember being in the studio and it was like a platinum album. I just don't know which one it was. But he also recorded Ronnie Hawkins and Gordon Lightfoot, and I think it was Chris Christopherson all at the same time. So
Nice.
he's been in the industry for quite some time now, and his name's very well known in the Peterborough and Toronto area.
I mean, I was going to say in Peterborough, doesn't everyone kind of know everyone? It seems like I just looked at it on a map, but it seems very small.
Yeah, it's only about 70,000.
Even that is small. That's the second largest city in South Dakota, but it's still as small as far as cities go. And when you're in the music community, they're always pretty tight-knit and rather small anyway. Yep. At least in your smaller, like, local scenes. That's why the Scene Projects has been about me traveling and falling into all of them as being a connection between all the different music scenes. What started out as how do I connect South Dakota with all the places that we actually want to go, right? The Minneapolis or, Denver being kind of, depending on which side of the state you're on. And then it's just kind of continued to spread farther and farther out. A lot of friends in Ontario now. So my buddy Rudy Gunn is out there in around Toronto now, although he performs out in Berta quite a bit, where he's originally from. And yeah, I met him at the Josie Music Awards in Nashville last year, and he had a big old Berta on his hat. And he won Video of the Year for a song he made and a video he did called Make Canada Great Again. And just talking about, there's, a lot of the same issues that plague the United States, the cost of living, the, migrant crises that we're all facing, a lot of people that aren't from here and have no interest in, assimilating to the cultures that are established in the areas. Without getting overly political, that it's a very common theme around the world now. And talking to people from Europe, a lot of the same stuff happening over there as well. And I don't think there's anything wrong with mixing cultures, but bringing in more to just kind of push out what's already there. I don't know that that's quite the way. Obviously what was done to the American Indian populations in the late, mid to late 1800s and then post that, but they still have the ability to carry on their cultures and traditions and all what they want to do, right? Mm-hmm. And to preserve, at least in some small way, those traditions of old. And I think that's why a songwriter like yourself is so intriguing to me, because you're keeping alive. Like I love the music from the 60s. I probably love the music from the 70s a lot more, but that I don't write in that Americana folk style. That's not, I play an acoustic guitar. I grew up playing acoustic guitar, but I got too much rock and roll in my blood to break it down and to write songs like that. So in some ways, while I was inspired by them, I don't know that I've necessarily done it justice to carry on the tradition of Americana and folk music in that way. And maybe that's part of the second half of my career that I dig, further back in the book, as I've created a lot of other music already. But yeah, I think you're for someone so young still. I mean, I know you're starting to feel old, I'm sure, at 26, where you're like, God, my life is
it's starting to happen.
Yeah, calm down. You're going to be okay. The next 10 years go by really fast. And even when you're 36, you're not old yet. And I would even say by 46, you finally know enough to be dangerous, like our friend Brad Stewart here, who not quite that old yet. Are you, Brad?
Yeah, I'm getting there. But you're only as young as you think you are, as old as you think you are, and I like to think that I'm very, very, very young at heart. So
yes.
Yeah, and the opposite is Samantha has an extremely old soul that's just like oozing out of her, right? Anytime she steps behind a microphone, And yeah, it's a beautiful place that we find ourselves in as human beings that are alive during this time, as technology is rapidly advancing, right? And with AI moving faster than ever now in one direction, that you have this renaissance and resurgence of people that would rather just like cut off from all of it and go write music in the woods, right?
That was my plan, actually. That's what I did. That's what I did this last summer. I just kind of, dropped off the face of the planet and started writing music and got back to my roots. And because it can be chaotic and feel frustrating if you're not, getting to where you want to be just yet. But it takes time and it takes goals and it takes persistency and, you know, everything will happen and the stars will align when it's time. And it's all about just staying true to yourself. That's what I've learned. And I don't want to conform to be something that I'm not. And that's why I just keep posting online and posting and posting and posting.
Well, and I think for you, my advice, if I was your manager, that I would be digging hard into the folk festival scene.
Yes.
And I think Brad would have probably the same advice there. Getting a visa to come to the United States probably being the hardest of things to obtain, to really,
especially right now.
Yeah, well, and it's unfortunate. And I know,
It is.
from talking with my buddy Rudy, how exorbitant it can be to come down here to work, right? You're essentially paying to play at the end of the day, even if you're making good money. It's all kind of going out the window. But, talk to me a little bit about what the Canadian scene is like. And I know that you're a little bit out in the sticks with your location, but what's the scene around Toronto like for someone like you in the genre of music that you're playing? Are they receptive to it? Are there lots of gigs? Are there very few? Like, are you stuck
There's actually loads. There's lots of opportunities. Since COVID, there seems to be a lot more musicians coming out and playing, and a lot of different places that wouldn't have live music before are doing live music. So there is quite a few opportunities. It's just about getting those auditions in on time. And sometimes in the winter, I'm not really thinking about the summer festivals and spring festivals, but that's the time you're supposed to be getting those entries in, right? So I just kind of fail myself in that way. So, and there's a lot more festivals like Roots North Festival, and then we have Ottawa Blues Festival is one I'm very interested in. My friend Jessie Green, she's going to be one of the headliners this year. So there's loads of festivals. Also, we have at Burles Creek, we have Boots and Hearts, which has been a huge thing, and they have an emerging artist category, which my friend Jade Hilton, she was part of that last year. But there's so many opportunities and musicians. So there's a lot of people getting into that scene right now. So I find it difficult to maybe somebody else, like, you don't get that chance right away, but it's because there's so much demand and there's so many people, I think, doing music right now that it might not be as easy as it was before to get that slot or that spot in the festival. So all you can do is just keep trying and keep auditioning.
Well, and on the flip side of that, I know you're kind of out there in Lake Country. Are there a lot of smaller but maybe well-paying gigs around the lakes that you could stay busy all summer without ever having to go to the city?
And that's
exactly there.
Yep, that's exactly what I've been doing. Even Lagoon City. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I was going up there.
Let me pull up my Google Maps.
Yeah, Lagoon City, you can boat right to everyone's house. It's really interesting. It's very interesting. You come in off of Lake Simcoe and you can boat in and go through this like city of houses. It's really cool. And everyone has a dock and you can just like boat over to your friend's house if you want. Just go down a couple rivers and there you are.
Crazy. Yeah,
But,
what a scene.
Yeah, I sing everywhere around this area, and I've been blessed to have all the connections and restaurants and places that have had me regularly. So yeah, I've definitely played a lot around my area, and that's why I'm trying to expand now and get heard in the city, and which I've always gone to Toronto to go and perform, but like you said, going to the city, sometimes it's gas money and time. Like it's just gotta make sure you're getting paid a decent amount. You're not paying more money in gas and food to go and do it where you're losing half your pay, right? So
Yeah.
Right. And how far are you from Toronto? It looks like it's probably definitely a couple hours in traffic, right?
yeah, so it's about yesterday I actually went to the city and it took me an hour and a half, 2 hours to get right downtown, but I always give myself about 3 hours just in case. And so if I'm an hour early, whatever. But I always give myself that extra time.
Yeah, I've heard the traffic is awful out there as well.
Yeah. You gotta choose the times, choose the right time to go.
All right. I'm an hour and a half doing 80 miles an hour from anywhere that would even have a what you would call a city, I guess. Sioux Falls is like 200,000 people. So a small city, I guess. But yeah, it's an
That
hour and a
sounds so
half away.
large. Sounds so
Yeah.
large to me.
Yeah. Well, it's half of the state's population lives in and around that one that one town. And I just came through. I mean, I went through Dallas, I went through Austin, New Orleans. I just been through these major metro areas. Nashville just kind of goes forever. The towns change name, but the metro like never stops. You don't know when you crossed over into the next town, right? From one side of the street to the other. Atlanta, massive metropolitan area, right? Dallas Fort Worth just blows me away that, either one of the cities would be, twice the 3, 4, 5 times the size of anything out this way. And there's two of them right next to each other. I think that's kind of hard to fathom. Texas on its own is just like a whole nother country out there.
It's insane.
Crazy. Yeah, so if you're going to visit the United States with the style of music that you play, Sam, just go to Texas. Just fly into Texas. You could play there for 3 months and never run over the same gig, and then cruise your way back to Canada. And I would suggest coming in the winter months while it's freezing ass cold up there in Ontario.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Well, that was the impetus for me getting out in like March, because the weather in South Dakota here can be pretty hit or miss in March. It could be 80 like it was today, or it could be, 20 like it was last week and snowing. So, but yeah, I'm thinking February next year, get out of South Dakota for a month and go enjoy our time out there.
Definitely.
Yeah, incredible. We got one song left, Sam, before we let you go. And obviously we got some tour talk. You can stick around for that as well, if you like. But one of these days, tell me more.
Well, this was written about my first boyfriend, and he was a drinker. And I like to drink before, but I've definitely slowed myself down now after some life experiences. So this song is about my boyfriend and him drinking too much. And he told me one day that I would miss him more than he would miss me. So I said, well, one of these days you'll want me back. One of these days you'll be wishing we did last. One of these days you'll call me back, but all you'll get is my voicemail track. So that's the gist of the song. It's all about I won't be back, and you're just gonna get my voicemail track.
Nice.
Love it. Hold on. Let me get everything pulled up here. All right. Well, this is one of these days.
It all seemed so nice when I met you. I guess I didn't know the real you. Time went by and I learned his habits. Consumption is what he liked to do. Drink and stay up so late every night, more than a few. One of these days you want me back. One of these days you'll be wishing we did last. One of these days you call me back, but all you get is my voicemail track. And I won't, and I won't, and I won't be calling you back. The evil inside of you was hard to see. It showed me we weren't meant to be. If you know what I'm trying to say, you'll never think of bringing me. 'Cause one of these days you want me back. One of these days you'll be wishing we did last. One of these days you call me back, but all you get is my voicemail track. And I won't, and I won't, and I won't be calling you back. Don't call me back and act like nothing was wrong. Don't call me back and try to get along, because I am forever gone. One of these days you want me back. One of these days you'll be wishing we did last. One of these days you call me back, but all you get is my voicemail track. And I won't, and I won't, and I won't be calling you back. And I won't, and I won't, and I won't be calling you back.
Nice. Like that one too.
Yeah, what a fun one. I love that. You're muted, Sam.
There we go. There we go. It's my mom's favorite song.
I could see you singing the whole time in the background, so I understand why you muted it, although we wouldn't mind if you sang along. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah, once again, just a throwback. It's your whole vibe, and I think that it's really it's a credit to you. Obviously, it's probably a credit to some of the guys that you're working with that are from that era, literally, that helps to kind of hone that in. Now, are they helping in the songwriting process at all as you're kind of bringing these songs into the studio, or this is all you're writing these funky country blues songs
Pretty much,
bringing them to guys that are like, I know what to do with this.
Yeah, so I just go in, I sing it, and I present it to them, and it's all usually done by myself, but then they add in all this cool stuff and just make it even better. So I do all the chord progressions and all the lyrics, and sometimes I write my songs. I'll have a melody in my head, and I'll sing it, and then I can just go grab my guitar and kind of repeat what I've sang, because I can do it with my ear. Or I have a little guitar thing that I come up with, and I put my lyrics to it that I've pre-written. Like, I write different ways. It all depends how the song comes to me. Yeah.
That's
Strange.
cool.
Yeah. Love. We're definitely going to start digging deeper as time goes on into the art of the song, which is a new series by the same name, by some friends of ours out in the Black Hills of South Dakota, somewhere I was very blessed to play this year at Jacob's Art Gallery. And I love how you're not trying to do it, right? Like, I think that's what gets me, is that it's natural. Everything's coming. You're not forcing yourself into, like, I'm going to sound like Patsy Cline, right? I'm not going to sound like I wrote this song in 1963. I'm not going to sound like, it just naturally comes out of you that way. And I think it's very authentic, and it comes across that way. I think a lot of people maybe see an opening into a niche, and they're like, oh, I can squeeze into that box, but you are standing on the box. You built it for yourself and are standing on it, not trying to fit inside of it. And I think that's really cool.
Thank you. It means a lot to me. It's nice to hear that feedback.
Especially on the last track where you were like this on the box, a little bit.
Yeah. That's a good example.
Yeah.
It was a turned over box of Jim Beam bottles or Canadian
There you go.
Windsor. I don't know what the fuck do people drink in Canada.
Well, we drink everything.
Yeah.
Crown Royal.
Oh, so
Yeah.
No more Crown Royal. Apparently, Doug Ford flipped that bottle upside down. I still have a Crown Royal deck of cards, so
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's really great. Yeah, it's good to hear, that you have different strategies for writing different songs, and
Mhm.
I'm sure that helps you, break through writer's block and all that good stuff. To have
a cup of water right here.
those different tactics and everything. So yeah, it's good to see that you're centered and tapping into your own, your own vibe.
Yeah, it took me some
We already
time to figure it out. Yeah, but it's finally happening, so I can't wait to get my album out there.
Nice.
Yeah, well, and is there kind of a time frame set for the release? Are you still working on getting it recorded? Where are we sitting right now on progress?
So the progress is I've got everything organized and situated and tempos and keys. All my songs are ready. I've just got to now. I started trying to record them actually on my own, which does not work for me because I get very frustrated and impatient, and I don't know if I can dial in my voice like I would like to. And so my plan is now that
You've had it fairly well made in the shade working with the guys that you have been, that it's been too easy, where you're like, it should be this easy. And then I know, because I've tried to record at home and I'm like, oh, this is trash. I have all the best equipment in the world, and I was like, it sounds like dog shit. But I go work with my buddy and I'm like, oh, this sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's so much better when somebody else does it.
One of these days, Bubba, I'll be able to help you out there.
Yeah, well, we get you graduated and all that good stuff. And I'd love to come record all my albums in the backwoods of Missouri.
Backwoods of Missouri by backwoods?
Sure.
The back 40?
No, that's actually the name of my DJ business. It's Backwoods Production.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was very fitting.
Hey, listen, it all started as a joke. My ex-wife,
it's still a pretty good joke, by the way.
My ex-wife, my brother-in-law, the ex-brother-in-law, however you want to say that, used to insult me and call backwoods. So when I decided to start a business, I thought it was very fitting to rub it in his face.
It's a great name.
His insults didn't bug me.
Yeah, you're talking to two people that are like from backwoods. I mean, Brad's from Mississippi, so he's backwoods too. Just less woods, more swamp.
Yeah, a lot more mosquitoes in my neck of the woods, though.
That's my swamp.
Oh,
it's still not as bad as Louisiana. You know what the state bird for Louisiana is the mosquito.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I lived there for 2 years. You ain't wrong. No, just kidding.
We got quite a few of them here too, and black flies and horse flies and deer flies.
Yep.
All of them. Well, Sam, anything you want to touch on before we get out of here tonight? Anything? Definitely got to share where people can find you and all that good stuff. But
yeah, just to keep an eye out for me and my new album coming out, Mountain Railroad. I'm thinking it's going to be released around in probably May or June. I'm going to be getting in the studio hopefully with James as soon as possible. I'm going to be getting onto that and making sure he's got time for me, because if he doesn't, then I'm going to have to find another spot. But I really would love to work with him again and have Beau be a part of it, because they do bring my songs alive and help me expand them to bigger things. So
yeah, so hopefully by the end of the year we'll have a new Samantha Windover album out there. And it's all right. End of the year is a great time to release an album anyway.
Or end of the year, yeah. So
Yeah.
I just get excited and I want to release it right when it's finished.
Yeah. It's
So
hard not to, especially when you're new in this, to not look at the the 10,000-foot view. That's why a lot of people have managers and business plans and all those kind of things to know that the pace that the music industry wants us to keep up on now, where it's, you got to release a single every other day and, whatever they're at now, and everything's got to have a music video. And it was all just so untenable in the first place. I don't know why we ever tried to keep up with that, because I don't think that's how good art is made. I think good art takes time. And we don't need to be in a hurry. Now, that also doesn't mean that you need to sit on songs for a decade before recording and releasing them, as I have some of mine for a multitude of reasons. It's hard to release music from a prison cell, but you can do everything on your own time. And I think that's the best part about the advances in technology that we've had, and the swing back that we're kind of in now, to where it did swing in that digital age with Spotify coming around and this madness, that the release schedule that they wanted everybody in. And now that we are kind of coming back to, I think artists especially want to like release collections of works, right? Like we want to put albums out again and have something. And if it only gets pressed on 100 vinyls in a limited edition run, well, then so be it. Those 100 copies are going to be really special to those 100 people, and that's enough. I don't have to sell millions of records to feel like a success in the world that I'm living in. And
I feel you on that.
Yeah, it's more important, and your music lends itself to that very easily. But I think your attitude does as well, that you're not caught up in, you're not excited to release it because you're like, oh, I got to get this out. You're listening to the songs and going, I got to get these out so other people can hear them.
Yeah, I think that might be a hit. We don't know until we get it out there.
Right. Well, and there's just so much more into it than that. And that's why I really dug into building a platform for discovery, because that's really what the world is lacking at this moment, is where do you find a new artist, right?
Yeah.
For me, we find them in our Facebook group or others, and we bring them on, and we're able to really dig into them as an artist, whether it's on the Scene projects or here on Love Noise or on Willie's show, Soul Impact, or Brad's show, where we're starting to bring other experts and stuff in. I'm sure artists will be welcome over time as well. That there couldn't be there will never be like an overabundance of ways to find new artists.
Never ever say no.
So, Bubba, you mentioned the song. Do you want to hear one?
Sure. Sam, you want to stick around and judge Willie? All right.
I do.
Now, listen, this is not me. It is AI, but I did a lot of stuff to it. It ain't just plug and play.
All right.
Let's see. 1, 2, or 3, Bubba?
3.
Y'all hear that?
I chose right. Yep.
There was a time I walked a crooked road, tried to carry more than one man could hold, made some choices I wish I could erase, left some scars I still see on my face. But grace found me down on my knees, right where broken men are meant to be. And the moment I heard my little girl cry, I knew heaven was giving me another try. Every sunrise feels like mercy, every prayer feels like home. I ain't the man I used to be, but I'm the dad she needs to see. Trying every day to stand up strong, show her where my faith sit beside her bed, pray the prayers my daddy said, ask the Lord to guide my way, so I can lead her every day. I tell her stories about grace and light, about wrong and how to make it right, 'cause the past ain't changed when you believe God can turn regret to legacy. I ain't the man I used to be, but I'm the dad she needs to see, trying every day to stand up strong, show her where my faith belongs. Little hands wrapped around my heart, God knew I needed a brand new start. Yeah, I stumbled, yeah, I've been torn, but she made a better man reborn, and I thank the Lord above for my little girl and her father's love. Hey, little monkey, you're my world. Daddy's strong because of you, girl. Every step I take, every prayer I pray is to guide your heart along the way. You're my everything, my reason why, the light God placed here in my life. And when I hold your hand, I see the man I'm meant to be. I ain't the man I used to be, but I'm the dad she needs to see, walking closer every day, letting God lead the way. Little monkey, you're my heart, you're the reason I found my star. Yeah, the past tried to hold me down, but grace turned my life around. Now I thank the Lord above for my little girl and a father's love.
So with that, the lyrics are 100% my own.
I absolutely love the part where it says, that little hand is wrapped around my heart. Something like that. I thought that was really cool. I really love that line. The whole feel of that song is just the South, you know, like it sounds
Yeah,
really
we got to
good.
get Dalton Jones to cut that one, Willie.
We're working on it. I have
Good.
pitched it to him, and we're working out details.
That's a good
That
song,
one
man.
is, but the story behind that one is I lost my other kids, and I got to be a dad again when she was born. So the whole story is just, yeah. I listen to it probably 1,000 times a day.
Well, it's beautiful, beautifully written. I love the lyric. It's just amazing. It flows beautiful.
Now I used Suno for the vocals, but I knew what I wanted vocally, and I put the chord progression in there. So yes, I used AI to sing it, and once I got my stems, I put it in the Logic Pro, and because I'm going to school for audio production, and then I remastered everything, so it wasn't just a plug and play kind of thing. I actually spent a lot of time on that.
Well, well done. Well done.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, what a way to come up with demos. And not that you couldn't commercially release these if you wanted to. I don't know what there's no damn money in music anyway. So who gives a shit? Like
I know, but
all the money out of it.
I know, but for me, there's so much heart that goes into it. I want, when it is released, I want someone that can put that much heart into it.
Yeah,
Like,
well, we're very lucky. We're very lucky to know the guy that would sing the shit out of that song.
I've got 4 others I sent his way to see what he has to say.
Yeah, I just feel like that one, especially because he's a girl dad himself, that I think that one would really hone in. And maybe that's what we're doing. Maybe we're building out the relationships between songwriters and artists, and maybe that's what the Momo and the Scene projects end up becoming, is not just an incubator, but you know, an incinerator as well, to bring these things to life and burn the industry down. Just go on tour all together.
So, Bubba, what's your opinion?
Oh, I've already heard that one. I really like it. It almost brought me to tears here live on the show, but I held them back. Now, if there was a human being singing that and it was DJ singing that, it might be hard. I think for any girl dad.
So I'll send you another one I got. I ain't going to play it on here because I don't want to take up any more time. But I have one I did. It's called Brother in a Church Pew. And it's actually about a veteran, a true Larry. It's my brother Larry that you got to meet. It's actually a song about how I met him.
Awesome. I love that you have the ability now to create, right? You've been a huge music fan your whole life. You've been around the industry for a long time. And you, for the last 9 months, you've always kind of dogged yourself like, I'm not a creator. I'm not this or I'm not that, but you are. And that song proves it, right?
I used to say I'm just a sound guy. I can't say I'm just a sound guy anymore either.
You're the sound guy.
You're a wordsmith. You're a wordsmith. Like, the lyrics are just amazing. Like, yeah.
And honestly, these are stuff I've written over the years. These are all poems I rediscovered when I was unpacking and I wanted to do something with. So
it's always great to pull the stuff out of the archives and remember, you know, sometimes I do that too. And I've got all these things written down and I go, I wrote that. Like, well, I better do something with that now.
That's how I felt about that one. I just played. I'm like, And then we know a guy that does AI, Ted. And we were talking one night after the show, and he's like, man, you could do it. So I started playing around with it, and I just fell in love.
That's good. Yeah, keep pushing boundaries.
Right. Well, and it's no different than, you know, Sam getting excited about the recording process in the studio. It's this, you know, it's that same feeling. I think there's maybe deeper levels to it, but maybe not for someone who's never really created anything to that caliber, to have something come to fruition like that. It's extremely gratifying. Right. And I don't know, you know, I think a lot of purists, that I was traveling with Luana Sandoval, who Luana has been studying music for 2 decades, you know, operatic trained, classically trained, and all these things. And
her vocal range.
Of course she would get extremely offended by someone creating with Suno, right? Like, they took the shortcut and in a day they wrote what would have taken, I mean, it would usually take you 10 or 15 years to even be proficient in an instrument or your voice to be able to get what you're doing. Now, they don't have the gratification of like, you actually did that, right? Like, you're never going to be able to stand on a stage and sing that song in your own voice in front of thousands of people. I'm not saying never, right? But you're not going to be able to walk out there tomorrow and to be able to deliver that to that quality, right?
And
so
that's the thing. I never did it to perform it to that quality.
Right.
I did it just as a tool, and that's why I'm 100% honest when I tell people about it, is I did it as a tool to pitch it to somebody. I'm not vocally talented at all. I can talk.
But I think there's guys that made a living as songwriters in Nashville that couldn't sing a fucking lick. But they could write some really incredible words and be able to put it all together and then be able to write maybe in someone else's voice. So I think there's always been these two worlds. It's just that the people who didn't have the voice before now have one with a Suno, or I know there's several other ones out there now as well, that it's given you that voice to be able to go, no, this is how it should sound. And then it's about just finding someone who has that voice out there that could cut the track. The problem is that it's not worth shit, right? Like I said, they've sucked all the money out of the music industry at this point with streaming. That what's it for, right? You know, those guys back in the day were writing songs and cutting tracks to get famous and get rich, right? Well, now there's none of that. So you're really starting to, well, what are we doing? Because it's not cheap to go to the studio and to record these things. And it's not as easy as an app can make it seem. To recreate those in real life is significantly harder.
Oh, for sure. I'm learning that more than most, probably, because of what I'm going through right now. The audio program, production program, it definitely teaches you. Like, I'm lucky. I've got a lot of plugins, and I can use the plugins for guitar. I've got plugins for different, more than I probably know what really does right now, to be 100% honest. Like, the download they just gave me this week has over 200 plugins, and I don't know how half of them are yet.
That's all right. I don't know either, Willie, but I do know how to play a guitar, so I got that going for me.
Well, listen, when I'm talking about, I want you to see what you're doing. The one about the veterans, I want you to see what you can do with.
Yeah. Well, that's the next phase of our relationship and everything that we're growing. And, it won't be long before you have the whole studio built out, and we're able to come down and record in Missouri anytime we want to. And we'll have a whole bunch of songs to choose from because you're going to keep on writing. And when Sam comes to the States, we can come to the backwoods and cut a new track with us.
Yeah.
Hey, the Backwoods Boys.
See, this is what I want to do. This is what my end goal is. I want to write the music, find someone to cut it with, keep all the money in-house as best they can. And it's about providing for that little girl that's running around here wherever she is right now.
Yeah. That's number one.
Oh, and it's so funny. Like, she'll come up to a complete stranger because she knows that her song because her nickname's Monkey. Aww. And she says, Daddy, play them my song. And we'll be in Walmart. And she's like, you need to stop right there. I said, for one, we're not bossy. We asked. But who's going to tell a 3-year-old no?
That's so sweet.
Yeah. Hard to do.
That's awesome, man. Well, Sam, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. I feel like we're old friends now, which is the beauty of this show in particular, the longer format and having a little bit more time and then digging into your songs. I think it's very unique. I hope that this show continues to grow as well. It's so much, and not that the other ones aren't important to me. Sometimes I record 4 episodes in a single day, right? Where on Wednesdays, this is me. You get 2 hours where I'm not looking at my phone. It's just me hanging out with my guys and a supremely talented musician like you, and really getting to dig in. So I appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Well, thanks so much for having me, and it's been lovely to chat with you, all 3 of yous, and I hope we can continue to chat in the future and make some magic happen.
I'd love to get you on my show as well, Sam.
I'd love that. That would be great.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, adios, amigos, and we'll see you again.
Sounds good, Sam. I think we're all quickly out of here as well. So for my co-hosts, Brad Stewart and Wild Willie, this is Bubba Starts. You've been watching Love Noise, and we will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. for the next episode. See ya. Bye, Sam.
See ya.
Bye, everybody. They say the music industry is open now, but if you're an independent artist or a DJ trying to scale, you know the truth. The gatekeepers didn't disappear. They just moved behind a curtain of data and consolidation. Hello, my name is Brad Stewart. I'm the founder of Music Mogul AI and Stewart Entertainment Agency. For 20 years, I sat at every seat at the table as a booking agent, a publisher, a publicist, a business manager, a consultant, and even as a mentor. I've worked with over 300 artists, from hungry up-and-comers to Grammy winners. After the world stopped in 2020, I went looking for the tools to run my agency for this new world. However, I found nothing that fit. Everything was fragmented. Every team was disconnected. And while the major labels were building monopolies to crush the middle class of music, the rest of us were left with spreadsheets and prayers. That's why I built Music Mogul AI. But I didn't want to just build another productivity tool. I wanted to build an architecture, a way for the independent musicians, the bands, and the DJs to move with the same efficiency and intelligence as a major label, but without selling their soul. We've taken 2 decades of high-level industry strategy and fused it with a proprietary AI to create a central nervous system for your career. It's the efficiency that I needed with Stewart Entertainment Agency, now refined into a weapon for you. But here's the catch. Music Mogul AI isn't for everyone. We aren't a mass market subscription service. We are a premier tech-forward partner. Our consulting is baked into the software because tools don't win wars. Generals do. We are hand-selecting a limited cohort of artists and DJs who are ready to stop playing industry and start building an empire. We are licensing this technology even to major agencies next year. But for right now, the advantage belongs to the independents. If you're tired of the fragmentation and you're ready to reclaim your time and your trajectory, click the link below, apply to join Music Mogul AI's ecosystem, and let's stop asking for a seat at the table and start building our own. I'll see you on the inside.